Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Was Julie Chrisley's mother involved in Todd's bank fraud? Julie Chrisley and her husband Todd are behind bars for tax evasion and bank fraud. As fans know, the family recently hired a new legal team, and they are pushing forward with the appeals process. With Savannah being their mouthpiece, she argues her parents do not deserve to be behind bars. Fans, overall, are pretty split on the issue. Many argue there is a mountain of evidence supporting their guilt. Others, however, want to believe everything Savannah Chrisley says is true. One topic of conversation that comes up every now and then on social media is Julie Chrisley's mother, Pam Hughes. Namely, there are a lot of fans who wonder why Julie's mother wasn't more involved in the charges against them, considering her direct involvement. More specifically, some fans question if Julie Chrisley's mother should also be behind bars. How exactly was Pam Hughes involved in their bank fraud? Keep reading for the details. Was Julie Chrisley's mother involved in Todd's bank fraud? In a thread on Reddit, Chrisley Knows Best fans call attention to Julie Chrisley's mother. Namely, the fact that she was VP of a bank that gave Todd and Julie a loan. The bank allegedly approved Todd and Julie for a loan without properly completing the application process. Moreover, it is also being reported that Todd and Julie Chrisley only paid back a tiny fraction of the loan. The loan her mother helped her secure. This bank that Julie Chrisley's mother worked for has reportedly folded. Fans, however, make it a point to clarify that Todd and Julie did not cause the bank to fold. Turns out, the bank was just absorbed into another company. Should her mother be behind bars? The OP of the Reddit thread questions if Julie Chrisley's mother should also be behind bars for her involvement in their bank fraud. Chiming into the discussion, one fan agrees Julie's mother should go straight to jail for her connection to the fraud. One fan penned, "You would think that it wouldn't be against company rules for a teller to handle a family member's loans. Maybe they didn't know Julie was Pam's daughter since Julie would be using her married name. Maybe too much time has gone by and they can't charge her. From what I have read, she was VP of operations. I wondered if they made up documents to present to her as well." Another chimed in. A third added, "So she was a bank employee who processed a loan for a family member? WF. Yes, she needs to be in prison too." Others chimed in to add that banks tend to hush up this type of scandal to save face, so the bank could have protected Julie's mother from blame. When the news first broke that Chrisley Knows Best stars Todd and Julie Chrisley were convicted of bank fraud and tax evasion, fans could hardly believe it. For years, the couple had projected the image of Southern charm mixed with playful family bickering. They were prim, polished, and publicly devoted to faith. But when the guilty verdicts rolled in, the scandal tore through their perfect facade like a summer storm flattening a white picket fence. Almost immediately, whispers began swirling through fan forums and gossip columns. Who else knew? Julie's own mother, Hixie, had been seen on the show in a handful of tender, wholesome moments, baking in a spotless kitchen, rocking Chloe in a porch chair, or doting on her grandchildren. But for some online sleuths, those quiet appearances became fodder for a new, sensational theory. Could Julie's mother have been aware of, or even tangentially involved in, the couple's financial misdeeds? It was the sort of question that could light up the rumor mill like a 4th of July sparkler. A perfect family image. Hixie's role in the Chrisley narrative had always been subtle but warm. She wasn't the comedic firecracker like Nanny Faye, nor the camera-ready centerpiece of a storyline. She was, however, part of Julie's foundation, the woman who raised her with an emphasis on discipline, manners, and respect for appearances. Julie often spoke of her mother's high standards. "She taught me to always look put together, even if you're falling apart inside," Julie once told a lifestyle magazine. Some fans wondered if that philosophy might have made it easier for Julie to maintain her composure during the years when she and Todd were allegedly falsifying documents and exaggerating assets to secure loans. And if Julie had mastered the art of keeping up appearances, Could she have learned it from a woman who had perfected the craft decades earlier? The banking connections theory. The boldest version of the theory painted a picture worthy of a true crime docuseries. Hixie, quietly knowledgeable about local business circles, helping Todd and Julie navigate the maze of small-town banking relationships. She might have been a silent advisor, someone who knew which institutions were more lenient, which loan officers could be swayed by charm, and how to package financial statements in the most favorable light. In this narrative, Hixie wasn't forging documents or typing up fake statements, but her influence allegedly smoothed the path for some of the couple's early questionable deals. Of course, there has never been any hard evidence tying her to such a role. But in the absence of proof, the gossip world thrives on connecting dots that may not even be on the same page. Family loyalty and silence. When the Chrisleys were indicted, most family members kept their public comments carefully measured. Nanny Faye was vocal in defending her son, claiming he was innocent and vowing to stand by him until my last breath. Julie's mother, however, said nothing at all, at least not publicly. For conspiracy-minded fans, that silence was suspicious. Was it a dignified refusal to engage in media circus behavior? Or was it a calculated move to avoid drawing attention to herself? Those who believe in the quiet accomplice theory argue that silence often protects more than just dignity. Others counter that Hixie's advanced age and distaste for publicity explain her absence from the narrative entirely. The visit in question. One particularly persistent rumor stemmed from an alleged sighting. A former bank employee in South Carolina claimed on social media that she once saw Julie and her mother in the lobby of a local financial institution years before the indictment. The post was vague. No date, no proof, no receipts, but it was enough to send Reddit threads into overdrive. Some users imagined them charming a loan officer over coffee, while others envisioned a mother-daughter team dropping off a stack of perfectly prepared, revised financial documents. Whether this was an innocent errand or the stuff of federal investigations was anyone's guess, but the internet has never been short on imagination. The reality TV factor. In the world of reality TV, the line between storyline and real life often blurs until no one can tell the difference. Producers had every incentive to portray Hixie as the picture of Southern gentility, someone whose only concerns were her grandbabies and her family's good name. But some fans believe that very portrayal made them question what was left off screen. After all, the Chrisleys' perfect life was carefully curated. If the show could hide financial stress, could it also have masked deeper family involvement in the schemes? The truth may be more boring than the rumors. Hixie may have been entirely uninvolved, unaware of the fraud, and simply proud of her daughter's apparent success. Yet reality TV audiences rarely settle for boring. The guilt by association problem. Part of the fascination with whether Julie's mother had a hand in the couple's crimes comes from a broader public instinct to widen the net of suspicion. When a scandal breaks, people look for accomplices. The thinking goes, if they lived together, saw each other often, and shared family dinners, surely she must have known something. But in real life, even close relatives can be blindsided. Families are complicated ecosystems, and financial deception doesn't always trickle down to every member. If anything, a person's deep trust in their loved ones can make them less likely to question suspicious circumstances. What we know versus what we imagine. Fact. Julie and Todd were convicted on multiple counts of bank fraud and tax evasion. Fact. Julie's mother has never been charged, investigated publicly, or officially linked to the crimes. Fact. The family has kept details about her perspective entirely private. Everything else, the whispered bank visit, the theory about her being a behind-the-scenes strategist, the idea that she knew how to work local banks, lives purely in the realm of speculation. But in the court of public opinion, speculation often overshadows fact. Why the theory persists.